Hello, everyone. This is Dialest, but you can call me Jeffrey. I know I probably will. I am a lot of things, but today I am a front-end web developer. I'm a student in the Web Development Bootcamp through the UC Davis Extension, and I say front-end web developer because I'm halfway through that program. But today is the day I unveil my first back-end project. Now, normally what I do is just say, hey man, check out my website. And you would go to my website and you would behold it. Yep, that's a website. And then you would return and report to me that thou hast indeed beholden the website and that it was good, and we would high five, and that would be it. But we are developing our backends now, so there is no website, only Node. Now, for the painfully ignorant in the room, like myself 2 weeks ago, I will break down for you what Node is so you don't have to, and so you don't have any gross Google image searches that are unnecessary. Node is a thing that lets us run our beautiful JavaScript babies without having to rely on a stinky old web browser. It's easy to install and I think easier to use, but since there's no browser and there's no website, I'll have to show you how it works in a video. Now, it is a program and its name is LIRI, and while that's probably not a name, it is her name. It's supposed to be like Siri, who is a speech interpretation and recognition interface. And she lives in your phone. Unlike Siri, however, LIRI does not interpret speech. She doesn't live in your phone. She doesn't pretend to be a person, and I don't hate her. Well, if she doesn't live in your phone, where can you find her? For that, you just head over to my GitHub page, which you're looking at right now. My handle is Sarah Dialest here, and you can download the heck out of the LIRI-Bot repository. And once you download LIRI, and assuming you have Node, you'll be able to discover that she doesn't work. And why would you think that she would? So you need her dependencies. So if we look in this file here, this is package.json. This is going to list all the things that you need to be able to run LIRI. So all you have to do is just open up a terminal and you will type in npm install. NPM being an acronym, meaning nothing particularly meaningful, at least not to me, at least not until last week when I found out that it will install awesome packages to run my program. Packages like Axios, like Moment, like Spotify, and like .env, which is my favorite one. Because it used to be that when you'd run my applications, which were purely front-end websites, I was fully exposed. And while I apologize for that, all of my code was visible, including the super secret keys that I use to access APIs, which is how we get information from other websites and databases. And that's bad. But now I can hide the most embarrassing parts of myself in a file that Git ignores. You can see that git ignore will ignore the .env file, which I'm not going to click on, which contains the API keys that are necessary to do what LIRI is going to do. So what does LIRI do? She does three things. You give commands to her on the command. So let's pretend that it's 1993 and you've pushed the turbo button on your 486 and it's ready to run exactly as fast as it would have otherwise because that button doesn't do anything. And you will type a command line. You'll type node, let everybody know that you're going to be using Node to run some JavaScript, LIRI, because that's her name, and then you're going to type one of three meaningful commands. Let's start with concert this. All lowercase, please. Concert this will look for wherever the musicians of your choosing are playing live. So follow that up with who you want to see. So, for instance, if you were interested in seeing One Republic play somewhere, you can type in One Republic, and you'll see a message indicating that the API keys have been loaded, and then you'll see where they're playing. You'll see that they'll be playing at the Sunfest 2019 venue, which is in West Palm Beach, Florida, on May 2nd, 2019 at noon. And then later in Bottle Rock, which is less interesting than Battle Rock, in Napa, California, on May 24th at 7. Just as an example, so that we can see that I didn't just pick one that works and none of the other ones work. Here's Kelly Clarkson, and you can see she's got a number of performances coming up. Or if you want to check in on my man, Art Garfunkel, see that cat has a lot going on despite being pretty up there. Now, you may notice that he is not performing only in America. He's got some shows in the United Kingdom. He's got some shows in, where was it? In Stuttgart, Germany. So when we're looking at a place that's in the United States, you'll see that it gives the city followed by the state that it's in. But when we're outside of the United States, we get the city and the kingdom and the country in which it is. In this case, the United Kingdom. Looks like he'll be there for a while, but then, as we mentioned later, for a couple of appearances in Germany. Now, you may get all ham-handed about it, and while looking for concert decide looking for this group, and you'll receive a helpful message that either is not a band, or they don't appear to be playing anywhere, which is sad because they're one of my favorites. Now, how does it do this? It is access. I don't have all this information, but Bands in Town does. That is a website that has an API that generously allows me to find out all of this information. It does require a special key to do so. You will need a key of your own, which you'll put in your own .env file to make that work. Mine from a friend, that friend being the educational program. The next one we're going to be looking at here is the next command is, and again, we need Node and we need LIRI, and then we're going to Spotify this song. You probably already tell what API this one uses. It'll be Spotify. And then we're just going to put in the name of a song. For instance, let's say we want to ride down the highway to the danger zone. We can see that once again, our API keys have been loaded. In this case, the Spotify API key is my own personal key, which I had to apply to obtain, and that is hidden in the .env file. All three of these meaningful commands have their API keys in the .env file, because I don't want any of it public, even though some of them already are. So we can see that Kenny Loggins performed Danger Zone. It appeared on the album yesterday, today, tomorrow, which is the greatest hits of Kenny Loggins. So we've got the name of the artist, the name of the song to confirm, and then the name of the album. Why the name of the song? Right now, this command, Spotify this song, is dumping these two words, Danger Zone, in that order. Before I used to get lots of results, and they would have given us Danger Zone and Zone Danger, and any songs that have both the word danger and zone in them in any order. Just way too many irrelevant searches. So now I have limited it just to ones that have these words in order, which I've done with some helpful quotation marks in the query URL, which is how I ask Spotify for that information. And but I didn't want to limit it to just one response, because the one response that I want might not. For instance, maybe this one would come first. I don't know what Psycho Stick is or why they have an album called For Revenge of the Vengeance, but they do. But no, I wanted this one. Here's another example that I'll show you in a second.